So we're going to move on to probably my favorite double drag setup. Double drag stagger. It's a part of the Lakers playbook the past 2 years. It's a big part of my playbook. Like, Tim, like this play has literally won me games and won our high school team games where and there's a couple of clips of my high school team running it where our best shooter is a really good movement shooter, and he was able to get in I think he had 5 threes this game, 3 threes off of this set, which is, again, really effective set. So again, double drag stagger. So this is just a setup for us. How we did it personally, Tim, I'm curious your thoughts. We did obviously 2 bigs, double drag, but as our ball handler goes off the now strong side corner, we send him through. One that sets up a built-in counter for us, but also now we have a clear side for a point guard who can drive both ways. And if we don't get the shot for the shooter, or if our point guard feels like he has an advantage, he's just able to attack that baseline where he probably has his defender out of place. So possession here, he ironically, the corner guy does a terrible job of just doing his job, but okay enough screen, and now our shooter is wide open for a pretty good look for him. Again, same set. This time we do get the backdoor. The on-ball defender does a much better job. They are way late on the screen, but again, doesn't really matter. The team we're playing does a really bad job at chasing. Now, this is the counter, and Tim, I'm really excited to get your thoughts on the counter. So, same setup. Again, the shooter, he's now hit 2-3 in a row, right? So as a defense, if you're not like locking and chasing or being more aggressive with him at this point, I mean, like, good for us, I guess. But so now they're obviously starting to play more aggressive, and this is another good shooter for us. He goes backdoor. They're chasing him for sure this time. And I'll zoom in a little bit more on it. Chases all the way around. He just clears all the way through. And the guy we sent backdoor, we just send him all the way around off the same stagger, and he gets a wide open 3. Before we get to some, like, I got obviously more NBA clips, but talk to me about your thoughts about like just double drag stagger.
So I'm stealing what you just showed me because that is incredible, and I love that. And I love that you've got the blind pig action kind of built in there. You've got the stagger, and you curl that. You get, like, that is so smart. I love that so much. In general, double drag stagger for me is a nice look if, I guess, in one of 2 scenarios. If you've got that movement shooter, it can get them good looks. And especially if the defense is in drop coverage or some sort of coverage that allows you to hang on to the ball a little bit. If they're blitzing you and you've got to get it out quickly, this takes too long to develop. So hard hedge blitz, this is not the way to go. But if you can get, a little bit of time, let that action develop, it's a really good way to operate. Now, even if you don't have the best movement shooter, another nice built-in part of this concept is the fact that you take 6 of the 10 players on the court and give them something else to do. And I see how, you guys clear out that guy on the strong side, but even if you don't, it's strong side corner defender is the only real guy that can help if you are looking to attack downhill and that dropping defender does stay home on that shooting action. So it's a nice way to get somebody just attacking 1v1 in the middle of the court with a lot of the other players on the court just kind of out of the way. Or as you guys use it, like, it's a great fit for your personnel and yield some really nice shots. So I like that. I like the veer option where there's just the one screen instead of both. I think we'll talk about that later. But this is one that you want to, again, you got to screen well. You want to attack with some pace. And if you can draw 2 on the ball, you've got a 2v1 with that stagger and can get some really good looks.
Yeah. Here's some examples of we just clear out that side, our point guard. Again, I should have been more on the blind pig guy more. He sucks at doing his job of just clearing out. But here's the Lakers running it. I really clipped this out. They don't get the action right away, but the pace at which they run this with is super fun. And you kind of go like a flip action right back to D'Lo. And then it eventually flows into Braun and Anthony Davis, just 2-man game on the right side of the floor. 80's such an effective roll, man. Austin, I like the shake by Austin. Quick, just like little note there. 80 gets the and one. And again, this time against the Nets, D'Lo's going to be able, he's going to get this. He's going to get another ball screen from Braun, be able to attack and get to his mid-range game. This is super, super effective. This is probably one of my favorite clips I found from LA doing it, where they get it. Spencer Dinwiddie immediately gets rid of it. He swings it to Max in the corner. Max is able to attack the closeout. Defense collapses. Probably one of Max's better plays, honestly, with the ball in his hands this season. And D'Lo finds a wide open three. So yeah, I think when it's executed correctly, I think it's really, really just hard to guard, like you mentioned, especially if you have a movement shooter. And I kind of wish LA went to this. I know this is one of the actions you were calling for a lot earlier in the year, when the Lakers just didn't want to run drop coverage beating actions. It is super effective. I do wish the Lakers had ran it a lot more earlier on in the season.
Yeah, it was a top concept for them, or I guess Double Drag itself was a top series for them of plays, like 2 seasons, I guess last season, not this one that just ended. This year it was a little bit lower down, and for much of the year they did not have much in terms of drop beating concepts in the playbook, and so that was an issue. And D'Lo really picked it up in terms of his pull-up three-point shooting out of ball screens, and Austin did a really good job throughout the year, but wasn't the highest volume. And so if D'Lo wasn't taking those, and for much of like the first half of the season, I think only 18% of his pick and roll shots were threes.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't, the built-in drop beating concepts with the pull-up threes, the pick and pops, which, AD not the best pick and pop three-point shooting option most years. LA just didn't have that. And so adding in Double Drag Oklahoma, Double Drag Veer, those are some ways to, keep running what you're running, just tweak it a little bit, and it takes what the defense is giving you. It sounds like y'all know what you're doing and attack well, and I love to see teams attacking coverages, and this is one major way to do it. I know the Lakers this year also really frustrated me when they ran this. They seem to always just kind of jog through it.
Yeah, that's another big thing. I think just with offense in general, like if you jog through it and don't play with any pace whatsoever, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, that there was a lot of missed opportunity with, like, they run the right play, this play specifically, and just not run it with any purpose.
Yeah.
It almost felt like they were never trying to score off of the stagger. And so they didn't. And yeah, so but there is a lot that you can do with this, and it is a really good concept.